Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and every single thing in between. I'm your host, Sybil Amuti.
And I'm excited as usual to bring to you this week's episode. So every Friday, we've been hosting what's been a little bit of Friday goodness called What's Next on our Instagram channel at The Great Girlfriends. If you're not following us, you certainly should be, because we are dropping some amazing insights and perspective to help you really shape your vision for this season and beyond. So jump right into this week's episode, and after you do, head over to iTunes and leave us an amazing review. That's how other great girlfriends know the quality of the content that we provide each week. Enjoy!
Hi, even though you do know my pet peeve is tardiness, right? I know if there's Tasha. Tasha, would you tell her how I feel about timeliness? Would you tell her I feel like that's next to godliness? I got the nerve. That is like my pet peeve. But I'm good, because it's you, and I ain't got nowhere to go.
Let me tell you, I literally, before I put you on, I said, Tieko gonna be nice to me, right, y'all? She's not gonna get on my case for being late.
I got your back. I got your back. It's all good.
I am so late today, right?
You were late last week. It's cool.
Was I late last week?
Yes,
too?
much.
Okay.
About the same time.
You know why? Let me tell you why.
Because it gets good.
No, it's a great excuse.
Each one.
It's a great excuse. You're on the West Coast, and I want to give you time to wake up, get everything situated. So I figured let me give you like a little 20-minute little gap time.
You're so kind. So I want to have a candid conversation, right? Like I had these other notes that felt really educational, as if I studied, because I do. But I want to have an honest conversation, like the one you and I would have if no one else would listen.
Yes.
I could say, girl, so we're going to stop telling ourselves the lies, okay?
Yeah. Because
what we do is we hold on to words that make us feel good, and it's not your peace that's being interrupted. It's your control that's being interrupted. So we wanted to feel like, I'm looking to fix my peace. No, what we're really looking to do is pull back control. We've lost control. And if truth be told, we lost control of something we never had control of.
Yeah.
Right? So if nothing else in this time, I've recognized that I was never in control. Everything we've been doing has been on a hope and a prayer.
That's right.
I don't care what level of life you live, right? It's a hope and a prayer. What I do want to do is this. I do have to say this. I want to make sure we put a disclaimer out. If we're even on this call right now, or this live, what do they call these? Lives, right? Okay. This interaction, if we're experiencing this interaction, we are among the privileged.
That's right.
Okay. So I want to start there, because everything that I have that should be coming starting today, Amazon said they're going to get something here tomorrow. Everything that I have coming, it slows me down to accept that I'm in the privileged life. Do you understand? Yeah. I'm living in a privileged life. And I know we don't like that word privilege, because we only want it to pertain to a certain particular people. Yeah. But we live a privileged life. So that privilege, it has really shaken us, that we're not able to do and go the way we please. So anyone that's on this call, let's just start from the place that we are good. Consider it. Okay. Right. We are good. The idea that we have the time, the idea that I saw a news thing. They covered a mother yesterday, and this woman has 3 children. I think 2 were in high school. 1 was in junior high. I might be jacking that up, but all of her children were honor roll students. Guess where she was for her kids to do homework? In her car in a parking lot where they have a bus that offers free Wi-Fi for people who don't have Wi-Fi. I'm going to disclose this. I pay $400 a month. Now, we pay $400 a month for cable and internet. This woman is sitting in her vehicle so her children can do homework using Wi-Fi. Now, that tells me we have a system that's broken down, because now it's only important to give children Wi-Fi. Well, you've been trying to execute online learning at some capacity for the longest. So what have those kids have access to? The library at school? No.
Yeah.
So just that idea that what's really happening, Sybil, right now is our control is being interrupted. Our control is just being snatched from us, the things we get to do every day. So while our peace is being, I guess the question becomes, what do we find peace in? right? Like what really made us feel at peace? Was it because we controlled everything, or was it when we didn't? So this brings me to, if we were to talk about what peace really, really, really means, right? Do you notice we throw around these words, and I posted this yesterday, that they feel mystical, right? Like we always say, oh, I want my peace. I want to have faith. But no one really talks about, unless you sit in church, and even sometimes then, you don't know what those words mean, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday I started talking to Todd. I was like, yeah, tomorrow I'm going to have this conversation about, somebody said, what do we find peace in? Okay, good. Thank you. Y'all gonna keep on with these notes. I'm not gonna read these notes because I'll be thrown
He
out.
can't do both. You stay focused.
I can't do both because I'm like, so yeah, we're gonna let them have it. Can't do both. But one thing I told Ty yesterday, I was like, yeah, we're gonna talk about peace. And I said, it's so interesting because I think people think peace equates to happiness, right? Yeah. But it's really in spite of happiness.
Right.
It's not an opposite. It's not a juxtaposed position, if you will, but it is something that only partners, the way I see it, peace only partners with stress and anguish and despair and disappointment and setbacks. Peace is its partner, because peace means even when those things that I can't control, even when the yucky's going on, there's something about my mindset and the perspective I'm able to take about this. Even if it's, and I don't mean everybody has to take on that perspective. It's like, well, we're going to kill it. I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to have this, and this. That perspective could just be, I get to sit still because I don't know what's happening. Yeah. And for me, that's what it's been. It's been, you don't even know what's happening. You know what I mean? I've had deep conversations with Tasha and about how my mind right now, one day I wake up and I'm feeling like, ooh, I'm charged. And the next day I'm waking up and I'm like, charged for what? Because you really don't know. Like, what's going to happen when they do let us out the house? We don't even know what that's going to look like.
Well, will it even matter? Will it even matter?
What would even matter?
If your mental state is in if you're in a full state of chaos, what difference will it make where you're positioned if you're in the house or out of the house?
It just wouldn't matter, right? Yeah. And so when you really think about peace, you have to look at peace as it's the partner to the things that we don't understand. It's not in. Okay, here's a better way to put it. I shouldn't say, well, yes, no, it's my words. I don't like.
That's a good way. You're good.
Okay. Because I was going to say, because I'm like, I don't want to exchange it, but I do want to say that peace, you don't have to get rid of anything to get peace.
Right.
So most people think I can't have peace until this happens. Yeah. You might not be able to have the success you want. You might not be able to have the finances you want. You might not be able to have the spouse you want. You might not be able to have the friends you want, the career you want. What else do we want? The house you want, the zip code, the area code, the car. But peace is not the thing that you have to wait for something to happen in order to get.
Right.
Peace is that thing that we get to have to access like right now.
Right. That's right.
Does that make sense? And the other thing is, it's really creepy when we think that only a certain level of a person should get to have peace. I'm reminded of a time I had to speak. I was in Dallas and I had to speak. And this is funny. I had to speak to a room of 575 white people. Now, while I'm married to a white person and my wedding had a whole lot of them, this just was different for me because it was nobody that looked like me, maybe two. Okay. And that day I had to speak to this crowd. It was a keynote, an hour-long keynote. And it was about, are you ready for your success? And interestingly enough, Kate Spade committed suicide that morning.
Oh, I remember this. Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yes.
And what's crazy is it was a room full of designers and boutique owners.
Yeah.
And fashion vendors. How crazy that I would have to stand and speak to a group of people who probably had Kate Spade somewhere on their vision board. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that notion that only peace comes with stuff and the access to stuff and the ability to do stuff and to get stuff is such a wrong thing, because so many people lose peace who have it all.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right? Like, peace doesn't require perfection at all. It really requires us to be present. It requires us to say, wow, let me sit with this. And I also like to think of peace as this equalizer of emotions.
Right.
So it's like when I'm feeling like a hustler in one moment and hopeless in the next, peace is that equalizer.
Yeah.
Between the two, right? It's like that thing, like, to me, peace is a breath.
Yeah.
I hope that's helping somebody. Like, I hope that we are learning to define something that feels mystical. Like, peace is a breath. It's like this deep breath you get to take.
Yeah.
And most of us can't breathe right now. You know what I mean? Even trying to, I know Natalie, well, let me see what time, because I know her schedule. So she's off. But between 10:30 and 11:30, she's doing preschool with her baby girl. So I knew she was going to be doing preschool and have her phone up. That balancing act, peace is when you get to breathe through that balancing.
Yeah.
Peace is the way I saw that lady doing her work in her driver's seat while her children they were doing their homework. And she had 3, 2 in the backseat, one to think. You know what I mean? And then some of us are complaining we can't go to the beach.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting you say that because I don't know how many moons ago. I want to say it was probably 15 years ago where I felt like I had a lot of inner turmoil. Not 15, it was 20 years ago, actually. It was a while back. But anyway, full of inner turmoil. And I remember in this conversation I was having with a mentor or whatever, and she was talking to me about, we were talking about peace and the disruption and where it comes from. And the resolve was that it's not necessarily a mental state. It's a satisfied soul. That's soul work. Because in your mind, you're able to shift your lens and you're looking at the circumstance. You got an eye on the pandemic. You got an eye on your family. You got an eye on your kids. You have an eye on your finances. You have an eye on all these different things. But the soul work stays. What you do, the work that you do in your spirit is a stationary place, almost like home base. And when all the things that we're looking at, we have our lens on everything that's happening. We've got to have that soul work, a stationary place that we can abide. And
so we're going to name it because I like names. Let's call that a settled soul.
That's right.
We have to have a settled soul.
But that's it. You got to there has to be a place that you abide. Doesn't mean that you're not looking all around. It doesn't mean that you don't have to see the things that are happening, that you're not in touch with them. Absolutely in touch, yet still abiding in a sacred soul place. My sacred place is so rich. It's so rich. Like it has become, I'm telling you, it is so rich. It's the reason why, like you said, peace is a partner. When you make the choice to partner with peace, that's a choice. When you make the choice. To partner with peace.
That's good.
That sanctuary is it's a sacred place where you can abide and dwell. And that soul work it can't be taken from you.
It can't be taken.
You can give it up. But it can't be.
It can't be taken. I gave you that church clap. I'm like, yes, say that. That's a word. I had to give you the church clap because it's true. Like it's partnership requires you to participate and to actually say, I want to, right?
Yes.
So if you're going to partner with peace, you have to say, I want peace. Now,
I choose to partner with peace right now.
I choose to partner with peace right now.
That in their life.
I choose to partner with peace right now. Like, we're going to take 2 seconds. And if you're on here, I want you to declare, I choose to partner with peace right now.
That's how you keep.
And you're going to follow that up with, I'm choosing to have a satisfied and a settled soul.
There it is.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. And this is going to go against a lot of beliefs. This one's going to go against a lot of beliefs.
Let's do it.
But I do believe that I live a life where people know that what you see is what you get. And I try to stay happy all the time. Most times. Some things I can't. And if you've been around, you've seen me through some dark days. But you know this already. Here's the deal. I think because we want control right now, we're doing our best to blindfold ourselves to what's happening around the world. And a lot of people are saying the best way to have peace, because they're confusing peace with happy, is to block out all the negativity.
Yeah.
But I'm a firm believer, while you don't inundate yourself and you don't get drunk off the negative, you can only be so grateful and so happy and so at peace when you allow yourself, when you immerse yourself with real world.
Yeah.
The reason I can have patience with my children is because I saw a woman sitting in her car accessing Wi-Fi from a free school bus.
Right.
So this idea that we should blindfold ourselves to what's happening, it teaches us not to have empathy for other people. When we practice caring, it's really ridiculous. If we practice caring...
and whoever's teaching that needs to be fired, because that's not reality. That's not humanity. That's a complete disconnect from everything God constructed us to be.
It's because he said, bear each other's burdens.
Yes, yes.
Well, you can't bear the burdens he said it, bear each other's burdens. So to think that the only way I could do this is send a check to a charity who's doing the work on the front line, the least you could do is tune in for 30 minutes a day and then figure out who to pray for. Like, that's the least you can give to humanity.
Yeah.
So I want us to recognize that anything we get to have should not be because of these vessels we built for ourselves, but because of these spaces we've created for other people. Like, that's the real way to find peace. I believe now the one saying I do, or the one practice I do subscribe to, is when you're feeling down, find a way to help somebody else. That always lifts the soul. Oh my gosh,
it's always going to lift
that always lifts the soul.
Always
it just opens it up.
That's right.
When you're able to get on the phone and check in. When I'm feeling down, the thing I do is pick up the phone and I text somebody. So if you get one of those texts like, how you doing? It's because Tieko was sitting here and getting in her own feelings. And I'm like, wait. Switch that and give it to somebody else.
That's right.
We have to show up for other people in order to even know what real peace is.
That's right.
Because the crazy part is all these little peace bubbles, these happy bubbles, these, joy bubbles, it's so backwards to me. And I'm honestly, while I'm excited to see so many humanitarian shifts, if you will, happening right now, and to see so many people stepping up to give, it breaks my heart to know that we have to almost give at this level, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart that we have to figure out how to give Wi-Fi to a family. It breaks my heart that we have to figure out how to feed a family. Yeah. It breaks my heart that we have to figure out how to get tissue to certain parts of cities. Not the world, Craig. Cities. We're not talking about third world countries. We're talking about cities in the United States of America. And honestly, we need to quit trying to put this responsibility of whoever and whatever color, even if they're orange, in the White House. We have to stop putting that responsibility, I had to throw that in, up there. Like, we could do something different.
It's true. I think part of keeping the peace is getting back to the village mentality. And I have been like, I don't know how many rooftops I can shout this from, but there are certain things that should not be permissible on your watch. And it's not a conversation space, but it is what you generate. What is your gift to the world? What is my thread or my contribution to humanity? How will I make that visible or evident every day? Giving is the gateway. Giving, it fills you up every time.
Every time.
You can find space to give a I love you, to give a check, to give some money, to go, help whoever needs help in your community, exchange some type of value, but creating or generating that giving, that's the village mentality. That's where we continue to create the threads in humanity that keep us strong. Depending on a government that's built off of people who don't have that mindset is a waste of time and energy, and we've seen it.
Anything that's driven by money just never works, right? Like anything that's driven by money,
giving is
it
the
just
gateway.
Doesn't work.
Plain and simple. And I'm going to go back to the village. It was never about who had the most. It's never been about who had the most should give more. It's never. No. It's who has the heart to give is the
should
one.
Just give. If you have it to give, then give. So we wait on.
Ain't nobody gonna go hungry on grandma's watch. Her piece is knowing that 50 grandchildren got fed off of some cornbread and beans on her watch. It wasn't about how much money she had. It was full.
It was full.
And that's the mindset that's going to keep us. That's the mindset that's going to keep your peace, because that gave her peace. Think about that.
Yeah.
That gave her peace. It didn't matter how much money she had. It mattered.
And wait, hold on.
It mattered her responsibility to her watch.
Period. And I see Natalie posted about the Giving Tuesday, and that is next week. And I wish I could see some of these other comments, because I see them laughing too. So they probably cracking some jokes about me, Sybil. But even with the giving days, I'm sick of those too. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm excited that next Tuesday is giving, but you know how many people are going to post for likes? Why in the heck do I need a hashtag to be active? I don't need to post for likes.
Lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. So, oh my God. And can we make it a lifestyle and not a like style?
My lifestyle. And don't nobody have to know how much and when and what time. I know.
Can it not be a lifestyle? Like everything is a lifestyle. If you can like it, then it's good to do. I'm so sick of the day. I feel better about National Donut Day than I do about
because that ain't supposed to be a lifestyle. That's supposed to be one day a year. And
that's supposed to be where Claudine. That's supposed to be the special day, Claudine. I know. Donut is supposed to be the special day, but giving should not be the special day. Giving should not be the day. That is, but
that's where we
giving,
got it all wrong. We doing donuts every day, and we giving on 2 days a year. Giving Tuesday on December 4th, and Giving Tuesday now on May 5th. We think that's how it's supposed to be. That's not the village mindset.
What happens in Thanksgiving time? November, you see everybody showing up at the food banks wanting to feed the hunt, and then these babies. Listen, when I saw on the news that LA Unified had reached a record number of something like 10 million meals in a day.
Wow.
Something is wrong. Screw Giving Tuesday. Now, I ain't saying don't give. What I am saying is don't do it for the, get your cute graphics together for the post. But can you give this tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday?
Today, right now.
There's somebody that's waiting on us to do. Yeah. And here's where I fall with that. If I have nothing else to offer, I have something to actually give. Like I have something. You don't need a platform. You don't need a stage. You have something to give. There's something in your garage right now to give. There's some old books that some child ain't read that you have to give. We hoard the goodness, like we hoard it, literally.
Yes.
And so back to this peace thing, the idea that we really want to figure out how to have peace and keep peace, it starts with, really, what kind of heart do you have? Yes. I really believe that good people have peace.
Yes.
I believe good people are able to say, you know what? I know if nothing else, I can do something for someone else. Yeah. And that for me offers me peace. Now, if you're on here and you're a person that's in need, I understand that too. Like you may not be the one to be able to give. But then, like I said, don't close yourself off to a world you could at least pray for.
Well, that's interesting you say that. There was a homeless couple. I want to say they were in the Piedmont, California. Is that Oakland area? Up north?
Yeah. I think so. Yep.
A beautiful story of a homeless couple who'd been homeless for over 10 years. And homeless couple lived on the street, and they were doing things. They would get their food and they would give to other people who didn't have food. They make sure people in there. So to the point, their story made it to the news, and a man offered them a place to live in his house. He lived in a huge house in a very upscale area. I guess maybe Piedmont is upscale. Is that the upscale area?
Yeah, I think. I don't know.
Okay, so they were in San Fran. Say he lives in the upscale area. He moved them into his house in an upscale area. He lived alone, wealthy man, heard their story, and wanted to give them a home. But only reason he heard about them was because they were busy giving. And it became known that there was this couple who was so generous. Equal circumstance, right?
Equal circumstance.
But still had a heart to generate generate value.
How are you homeless and you giving?
And giving.
Listen, and we complaining about not taking a vacation. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm ready to get back on an airplane and come to your coast. Like, I'm so ready to come to your coast. But the stuff that don't get me started about the protest at the beach right now out here with people talking about give me my freedom. First off, if you white, don't hold a sign that says freedom. I said it.
That's another lie.
Don't do it. But the idea of what we're complaining about, the things that we want back, because I'm going to go to my people, y'all over here fighting to get your nails done, your hair done. You want to sit up in the shop. It's the idea. Girl, I painted my nubs last night for you. Painted my nubs because I don't have any nails on.
I've been trying to get some acetone to take this stuff off.
Do you understand? But the things we're finding important, and then we say, I'm frazzled, because your priorities are off.
Yeah. You know what's interesting, Tieko? When I think back on that homeless couple, because they moved to the rich man's house and a wealthy man's house, and every day they took the bus back to their old block.
To the place where they were homeless.
Where they used to be homeless for a number of reasons. One, to make sure that the people on their block were getting food. I think what gave them peace was to know that they were honoring the calling on their heart. I think what allowed them to keep peace was knowing that on their watch, they were taking care of the community or the village or the people that they were assigned to. And so many times when we get in the, well, now we're in the middle of this pandemic, and people start to get scarce. That scarcity mindset will tell you that's not enough. So you start locking your doors and you only care for your core four. That's my family, core four. But that's not even my style. My style is a village style. But if I let scarcity creep in, it'll tell me that I need to withhold, that I need to give less. I need to do less. I need to hang on to resources because it ain't much left.
Yes.
But the truth of the matter is I keep my peace when I continue to honor the assignment, the calling on my heart.
So can I make one more point with what you just said? You said that the homeless people went back to their block.
Every day.
You remember what I said last week about your past should be your policy statement?
Yes, yes.
And I said we can't keep letting our past go.
Yes.
Listen. I can almost cry because what I think about is most of the time we don't have peace because we forgot what we already made it through.
Yeah.
And to me, I find peace in knowing that I beat some stuff.
Come on, champion fighter.
Because I went back to the block. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like in my spirit, I went back to the block I came from.
Yes.
I feel like there has to be some level of remembering exactly where you were when you were not the person who gets to complain about a flight.
Come on.
Like remembering what it looked like, what it felt like, what you were eating, all of that. Like if we just get back to remembering, going back to the block. Like we've seen some dark days. Everybody on here, I'm certain you've seen something. Even when we talk about having a village, you were on the other side where you needed a village at some point. And I think that if you just remind yourself of some things in your past and how you made it through, then you can really adopt that philosophy of this too shall pass. But a lot of times we'll say this too shall pass and we don't realize too is meaning there was something else.
Yeah.
So this too shall pass. Well, what was the other things that passed?
Yes, yes.
And so I think
wipe it away.
And I think it requires us to constantly be willing to go back to the block.
That's right.
Like how you said these people were willing to go back. They felt like I don't get to just leave there. So now that I beat it, I don't get to just shake it. And I'm not talking about celebrities going back to their neighborhood. I'm talking about you and me. I'm talking about you and I going back to, I remember when, whatever that when was. If you were in a bad situation or a relationship, remembering when. Whatever it was that you got through, that alone should shake you up to say, you know what, I can have peace.
Yeah. That's right.
I can have that thing which we describe peace as being, I can have that thought, that breath. I can take that deep breath because I know, I've seen some stuff.
That's right.
I don't like it and I'm confused and I hate that I don't have control. But I can breathe because I know there's something that's going to come of this.
We'll be right back after these messages. Would you like to restart 2020 over again? Is COVID-19 making you want to pull out all of your hair? Check out A Dope Girl Vision on Instagram. Get motivated to think like a genius and become the person you've always wanted to be through self-discovery and creating your own vision. A dope one. Remember, go and follow A Dope Girl Vision on Instagram today.
You know what? You're bearing it down to the basics too, Tieko, of life is supposed to be a lot more simple than we've made it. And, listen, breath was supposed to be enough for the day.
Breath was supposed to be that pieces of breath. It just is breath, right?
Pieces of breath. And breathing, life, waking up was supposed to be enough. That life was supposed to be enough. But then we've made it so complex and we're not satisfied. Right. Our Wi-Fi is strong enough until we have all the things that make us feel satisfied, until we're eating certain foods, we're on a flight and we're traveling and we're able to shop again, all these things. But life was supposed to be waking up, the satisfaction of being chosen for the day is supposed to be enough to fill us up to say, I'll abide. I will abide. I'm going to rest right there and be grateful for that. And with that breath, with that life, I'm going to generate more life for other people. But when we go around scarce, when we go around afraid, when we go around withdrawing, when we go around, putting so much weight and social pressure on people to show up for us when everybody is focusing on breath.
Oh yeah, and simple when we go around stupid. And now, and I know when stupid is not, that's not politically correct. But
now. You just said it.
Yeah, but stupid is when you choose not to know. It's the same as ignorant to me, right? Like when you so. And here's the deal: all of us want to go back. Like honestly, we want things to be back to normal. But has anybody sat down and said that normal was so dysfunctional? It was so dysfunctional that we were working 12-hour days, that we weren't leaving the office until 7 p.m., that we wasn't getting home until our kids were in the bed, that we were waking up at the crack of dawn, checking emails the first thing in the morning, that we were picking up our kids with a cell phone glued to our face. That was so dysfunctional. You know how many people get their kid with a phone to their ear? It was dysfunctional. And now you got time to actually look at your kids. Most of us didn't even know what our kids really look like. Like, honestly, you're like, oh, I didn't even know you had a mole behind your ear. Like stuff, I'm seeing people.
They're like, did you always like that? Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what scares me the most when I hear people say, I'm learning so much about my partner. And you want to go back to normal? Man. You've been married, I don't care, 2 days or 14 years like you just hit. Hey, someone got 14, someone got 14. Congratulations. How do we want to go back to something that was so dysfunctional?
That's right.
Like honestly, the weird part is, and me and Tasha joked about this, like spouses and how they chew, but I kind of knew how Todd chewed before now. Right, I hear it more often, and I like it a lot less, but I knew how he chewed before now, because I will say this, and now, and if you want to talk about what I do brag about, I brag about how great God is when it comes to my household and the stability in it, because my husband does come home by 6 p.m. every night.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. We set that system up at the beginning. So some of this adjusting is just what it is. That's why I'm able to find peace, though. Now, and if we're going to talk about it, like people who are able to find whatever it is we're looking for, we need to be, there's a lot that I have to learn, but what I'm not learning is how to find peace and some sort of breathe room in whatever's happening. Like, but it's because of the systems we have to set up. So I just had to throw that out there, because when you said, I'm like, yeah, you know what? We walk around stupid. We want exactly what wasn't working.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get back to the thing that had you with migraines.
All stressed out, full of anxiety.
It just blows my mind that that's how dumb we are. We sound like a little kid who, you want to run back into that street. You just got hit by the car. Why you run back?
You know, I was watching, God, what's the name of that station? TBN. I was watching TBN one night, flipping channels, and TD Jakes was on. This was a couple weeks ago. And TD Jakes said, we'll do anything to be normal. And that statement just stuck with me. Like, it just stuck. Like, I hear it every day. How much we crave normal. We'll do anything to be normal. And we do everything to fight the extraordinary. We do everything to resist an opportunity for growth. We don't want to grow. We don't want to stretch. We don't want, now, not a waist trainer. Let's leave that off. That's different, okay?
Or the honey. Or the facial honey. We're going to need a waist trainer and a honey off the table. Your waist trainer and my honey.
Isn't it true that people will do anything to be normal? They'll crave abuse. They'll crave neglect. They'll crave rejection. They'll crave fear. They'll do anything to grab what was normal, to feel safe, because that's more.
We always
the unknown.
Yeah, we always gravitate towards what feels most comfortable and familiar, right? So whatever feels familiar. The sad part is, if peace wasn't familiar to you before now, it's going to be a new concept for you right
Absolutely.
Now. So the idea that we want to go back to whatever, and subconsciously, it's kind of like when people are in an abusive relationship, how you get so programmed to accept that as love, that
Exactly.
you'll stay in that relationship because you feel like, well, that's the best I can get, or that's what I need.
Familiar. It's normal.
It's familiar.
Who said? I just don't believe anywhere in my DNA that God designed me or you or anyone that's watching this live to be normal. Or to
no, you're right. He said normal. Be peculiar. He said be peculiar.
Come on.
He said we are a peculiar people.
Yeah.
He called us weirdos. Like, Listen, we're supposed to be widows. And the idea that we are so against, we rather fit in and then can't figure out how come our joy and our peace and our happiness is so fleeting.
Yeah.
How come we can't figure out how we don't have listen, all my girlfriends who are on here, we laugh more than anything. We laugh way more than we cry. And it's not because we're not keeping it real. It's because we've made joy real.
Yes.
We've made it real. So we're keeping it real because the reality is we recognize that life, first off, life, it's not owed to me.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not owed to me. It's given to me. Life has been given to me. Peace has been granted to me. Joy has been gifted to me. Mm-hmm. These aren't mine. I'm actually borrowing them from my creator, right? So if I'm borrowing them, it's kind of like, it's other than Tasha. I'm going to use Tasha one more time. She a friend who can't borrow my stuff because it might not come back the way I gave it to her.
You have talked about her too bad. You've been telling this story about Tasha for too long.
You know, for years I've been telling you. But Tasha knows it because this is Tasha's gimmick. Tasha's gimmick is let me use it because I know I'll get to keep it. So if we wear the same size shoes, right? So Tasha's like, if I get it, I'm probably going to get. So, but other than Tasha, because she knows she can have my heart, I'll loan her my kidney if I had to.
Right.
But other than Tasha, when we loan something, we usually try to take care of that thing somebody loaned to us, right? Like if I'm borrowing it, anything, and put it like this, and anything that belongs to you, you get to control it, right?
That's right.
So my car is mine. You don't get to drive my car unless I give you the keys to my car. Mm-hmm. Well, we know we don't own life. Why? Because we don't get to choose when it comes or when it's taken away.
Right.
So since I recognize that I'm borrowing life, how well will I treat it? Because it's not mine. How well will I take care of it? How much will I just toss it on the floor because I don't care? Would I walk in mud with it knowing that those are suede? Would I eat spaghetti with the white jacket?
Right.
But we do it with life. And to me, it's just a matter of, we got to remember, we're borrowing this stuff.
That's right.
So the idea, we act like there's time to just let it get messy and let it get dirty. So if you really want to know what I think about peace and everything that comes under it, faith and love, and none of it belongs to me. It's my job that if I'm going to let you loan it to me, I better do something with it.
That's right.
I better do something with it. And that's how I feel about peace in life. It's actually loaned to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
And you don't have to be Christian to really believe that. You got to know that tomorrow could be your last day and it ain't your choice unless you choose that, right? Yeah. So knowing that it's something that someone gave to me and said, do what you can with it. I don't get to sit and wallow.
That's right.
And some of the stuff we're wallowing in. And I just hope that when we find this thing over, we don't pick up the old Rolodex or the old manual that we had 7 weeks ago. Because 7 weeks feels like it's been way longer, right? When you look at it, like, dang, we were just taking our kids to school. We're no longer doing that. And that feels like it's been homeschooling feels like it's been a long time. It feels like it's been a very long. I feel like I've been doing it a whole school year, not just a semester. It's been a long time. But I hope we don't pick up the manuals that we were using before. I hope we don't do friendship in passing and home in passing and living in passing and loving in passing. I hope we are a little bit more intentional because we've had to be more intentional for you and I to be able to have this much time on a live, uninterrupted, and for all these people to be able to stay on with us. That took some intentionality. So I surely hope that we put down or at least go back with the board members of our life and say, let's look at this manual and update some stuff.
Yes.
We need a board meeting.
We get to create a new narrative from here. And I mean, great girlfriends, you get to decide what peace looks like. You can ask yourself questions. I feel peace when peace should be in my life. Because a lot of times people haven't decided what that looks like. Make the choice to say, this is what peace looks like in my life. This is my design. This is the design for peace for me. Which means when you have all these oppressive forces, whatever it is, you can be like, hold up.
And what you just said, but wait, don't roll over that because you just said by design. And you know what some people don't do? They don't design it.
There's no design.
They only know when they don't feel it.
No,
they know when they feel stressed.
No relationship with it. We can talk about peace all day, but if you have no relationship with it because you haven't constructed your design for what peace looks like for your life, You can
for
step
your
into
life.
my peace story and have complete chaos, and I can step into yours and have chaos because it's not mine. It's not yours.
Listen, absolutely.
Yeah,
like the
right.
way it's one of those things. Like in my house, I don't need you to take your shoes off, right?
Yeah.
And I might get to your house and you're like frantic because I didn't untie my shoes.
Yes.
Yeah, like you want. But if that's your piece, I gotta respect it and I gotta accept that I might have to put mine down for a moment to be in your castle.
That's right.
And then when you come here, you might be like, did they just flip over the couch like that? And then you see me flip too. And you're like, wait, did she just flip over the couch after them? Oh, no. You might have to go home. Kid you not, the other day, Todd was like, I'm not going to the emergency room. Why? Because his wife was at the top of the stairs, sitting on a pillow, trying to figure out how to slide down.
Oh, you got to lean your back.
I couldn't figure it out. And I didn't have a silky pillow cloth. Yeah, and I didn't have a silky pillow. I should have put a silky one.
Up and down the steps.
I was trying to go. And my mother's like, Tieko, please stop. Please stop. And I'm like, so my piece and your piece is different. And designing
yours, but theirs.
Theirs, because I forgot.
Like, go, kids, go, let's go.
We're going to race. I'm timing you. Who got down there the fastest? Right? Everybody on here, they know. All my friends that have kids, I am the favorite auntie. There is a joke that's going around within our circle. They said they know that I'm the only one, or at least the one, who will never be in a nursing home because the rules are off when it comes to here. Like, just don't hurt yourself. Even though we've even had that. We had a baby who had stitches. She stepped into a mirror last time she was here.
I remember that story.
And guess what? She's been back since. Her mom's like, hey, things happen because I love the kids. But all that to say, I've designed what peace looks like for me. Yes. I've designed what it's going to look like for my kids. I've designed. Right. And so during these times, we've just upped that level of playing. So it's not just the weekends or in the evening. We've been pranking. I'm sure they're waiting on me like, hey, we got a prank to do,
it's
Mama.
Time to prank. What we doing? Yes.
What we doing? And then the thing is that the rule is I have to help each person, but I can't be a double agent. So when I'm helping one person, I'm not on the other person's team.
I love it.
Girl, they're crazy. They're crazy.
But design it. Design the story. Construct your story of peace.
Like really sit down and write it. Like say, this is what I want. This and I'll add this. That requires you to take away everything you don't want.
That's right. Yeah.
It requires you to say, I don't want friends that look like this and act like this. I want friends that feel like this. And like, if you have any of those friends that when you see their name pop up on the screen and you like, oh, just go ahead and have the conversation and let it go.
That ain't for you.
Because those are all the,
that's somebody else's blessing. That ain't yours.
I love that. That's somebody else's blessing. Let that friend go be a friend somewhere else.
Friend go. Yes.
Let them go. Right. Like, let them go be a friend. Let them go be I love it. That's somebody else's blessings. Oh, I'm about to use that on everybody. Be like, is that somebody else's blessing? But it's the truth. Design the world you want. And I always talk about friends because I think friendships are so important. I heard the girls earlier that most of my friends are married. Why? Because I'm married. So friendships mean so much. Most of them are moms. Why? Because I'm a mom. They mean so much to us, but if you don't create those spaces that support the peace design you have, you're in trouble.
You're in trouble because you're going to be living according to everyone else's rules, and you're going to find yourself to and fro, confused, with no structure.
Or suppressing, right? Or hoarding when you need help. You suppressing questions and comments and like this whole idea, like if I am stressed, how come I can't pick up the phone and call somebody to say I'm stressed? There's some friends that I can say, listen, y'all, I'm scared. Like today, I don't know. I saw those numbers and I got nervous. They're not going to be like, oh, here comes Tieko being negative. They're like, girl, me too. Yeah. You have to have those places where you can go and be safe to even cultivate peace. Peace is like this. It's going to take a full village for real just to have peace. If you think you could, once again, if you think you could do it in a bubble,
you can't.
You can't.
Great girlfriends, did you enjoy this week's episode of the podcast? If so, would you please give us your amazing review on iTunes? Every single review helps another great girlfriend get plugged into the podcast, into the community. Speaking of community, make sure you join our Facebook group, The Great Girlfriends. You follow us on Instagram at The Great Girlfriends and on Twitter at _Great GFS. Last but not least, we'd like to thank my amazing husband, Kwaku, Sam and Dilly, and all of you for being a part of the global community that makes us so strong. Please remember to share with your friends. Keep listening and keep being a great girlfriend. I'm Sybil Amuti, and I'm out. Peace.